everyone. Thanks for joining me tonight. My name is Marcus, and I need to tell you about something that happened to me 3 years ago, something I still can't fully explain. Back then, I was living in my hometown of Cedar Falls, working the night shift at a telecom call center just off Highway 52. It wasn't glamorous work, but after losing my retail job during the pandemic, I was grateful for anything steady. The center operated 24/7, handling customer complaints and technical support for phone and internet services across 3 states. My shift ran from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., 4 nights a week. Most people hated the graveyard shift, but I didn't mind. The building was quiet, the pay was decent, and I could listen to music between calls. The call center itself was a sprawling, single-story complex that used to be a textile factory back in the 70s. Long, fluorescent-lit hallways connected different departments. Billing, tech support, sales. My cubicle sat in the back corner of the tech support floor, station 42, right next to the emergency exit. During night shifts, our floor only had about 8 people scattered across maybe 60 cubicles. The emptiness made every footstep echo. Every Monday through Thursday, I'd drive in around 10:30, grab coffee from the break room, boot up my computer, and settle in. Calls came in waves, sometimes back-to-back for an hour, then nothing for 20 minutes. During the quiet stretches, I'd catch up on emails or browse my phone. That's when you'd notice the sounds. The hum of the HVAC system, the distant murmur of voices from other departments, the occasional creak of the old building settling. It started in late September. I was about 2 months into the job when I first saw her. It was a Tuesday night, around 2:15 a.m. I'd just finished a call with an angry customer from Iowa and stood up to stretch my legs. That's when I noticed movement near the center of the floor, maybe 30 feet away. A woman in business attire, dark blazer, white blouse, her hair pulled back in a tight bun, was sitting at one of the empty cubicles, headset on, staring at a blank monitor. The screen wasn't even turned on. I could see the black reflection from where I stood. I assumed she was from another department, maybe covering a different shift pattern I wasn't aware of. I sat back down and took my next call. But when I glanced over 10 minutes later, she was still there. Same position, same blank screen, not moving. Over the next few weeks, I kept seeing her. Always between 2 and 4 a.m. Always at a different empty cubicle. Always with that headset on, staring at nothing. She never looked at me, never acknowledged anyone. I asked my supervisor, Janet, if there were other techs working our floor that I hadn't met. She pulled up the schedule and shook her head. 8 people total on night shift tech support, all accounted for, and I knew every single one of them by sight. I described the woman mid-40s, dark hair, professional clothing. Janet's expression changed. She got very quiet, then told me to come to her office. That's when she showed me the memorial plaque in the front lobby. I'd walked past it 100 times without really reading it. The plaque honored employees who died while working for the company. Third name down, Patricia Caldwell. Customer Service Representative, 1978 to 2006. The small photos show the exact woman I've been seeing. Janet explained that Patricia had worked night shifts in the old customer service department for nearly 30 years. She was known for her dedication, never missed a shift, always stayed late if the queue was backed up. One night in April 2006, she suffered a massive heart attack at her desk during her shift. By the time anyone found her, she'd been dead for over an hour. The headset was still on. The call she'd been handling had long since disconnected. After that, night shift workers started reporting sightings. A woman at empty desks. The sound of a phone ringing when no calls were coming through. Whispers in empty hallways that sounded like someone reading account numbers. Management didn't like to talk about it. High turnover on night shift was bad for business. I tried to rationalize it. Tired eyes. Shadows playing tricks. But the encounters became more frequent. I'd hear footsteps approaching my cubicle, then stop right behind me. But when I turned, no one was there. Twice, I heard a woman's voice whisper insufficient funds right next to my ear when I was alone on the floor. The other night shift workers admitted they'd all experienced something, but everyone dealt with it by pretending it wasn't happening. Then came the night in November that I'll never forget. 3:20 a.m. Dead quiet. I was the only person on the entire floor. Everyone else was on break. That's when my headset crackled to life, even though I wasn't on a call. A woman's voice, distant and hollow, said, "I can't leave. There are customers waiting." I ripped off the headset and stood up, heart hammering. Patricia was sitting in the cubicle directly across from mine, maybe 6 feet away. For the first time, she was looking at me. Her eyes were tired, pleading. She mouthed the words, "Help me." I didn't know what to do. I remember what my grandmother used to tell me about restless spirits. They need permission to move on, or they need to finish what they started. I took a breath and said, "Patricia, your shift is over. You've done enough. You can go home now." She stared at me for a long moment. Then she smiled, a sad, grateful smile, and faded away like morning mist. I never saw her again after that night. Neither did anyone else on night shift. The strange sounds stopped. The phantom calls ended. I left that job 6 months later for better opportunities, but I think about Patricia often. She gave 30 years of her life to that place, and even death couldn't break the routine. It taught me something important. Don't let any job, any obligation, consume you so completely that you lose yourself. Life is short. Make time for what matters. If you've experienced something similar, unexplained encounters at work, spirits that couldn't let go, share your story in the comments. And if you found this account valuable, subscribe for more true experiences from the other side. Remember, the people we work beside, the places we inhabit, they all leave traces, some deeper than others. Thanks for listening, and take care of yourselves out there.